So I did a couple bonehead things on this dive, one of which was leave my GoPro at home. Luckily, I had Mr. Rogers here on the boat today, aka Mr. Carolina Sea Hornets, and he lent me one of his extra GoPros. So I do appreciate that, Mr. Greg, and enabled me to get this footage that you see now. Oh, as you can hear, Rob has seen this large hogfish that he's trying to get me to shoot, but it took me a second to free myself up from the anchor so I could try to get the shot off on this puppy. But I did.
You got the stink off.
Yeah, I got the stink off. Oh. Oh.
And you got the teeth too.
Got two too.
Yeah. Couldn't be outdone, could you?
No. Hey, you gonna take off your little stopper or you gonna shoot it on there?
Is this his first dive of the year? What's going on?
What are you doing?
We're ready.
So this is our first dive of the day, and the only reason I left this footage in, because we didn't shoot any fish on this ledge, is just really to show you how clear it was. I mean, the viz was absolutely phenomenal. You know, when the viz is good, you just got to enjoy the dive. And we did. But all the grouper kind of swam off to the right, and we swam off after them. Unfortunately, we didn't see them. But Fred had a really, really good day. He shot a 37-pound pompano and a 37-pound gag. And in fact, I went down on the WR2 right behind him to try to get one of these big pompano myself. Unfortunately, though, they were not playing ball. So we're coming in from out in the sand, I guess you could say, toward the bow, toward the wreck. So you can see here the Gaviz is just as good as it was on the previous ledge. And it's just gorgeous, man. So the bow's kind of laying over on its side a little bit. You'll see that when we get up here. But my plan was just to hang out on top and wait for a while, wait for the pompano hopefully to come by. And I probably sat up there for 10 minutes, but they never showed up until the very end. And I was too far up the line at that point. So I'm sitting on the very tip of the bow here. You can look down and see that big lobster right there below me. I didn't grab it because we'd already honestly gotten our lobster quota for the dive, for the whole boat in the previous 2 dives. So wasn't worried about that. I really just sat up here and watched Combs and Warren swim around, chasing fish around. The fish were a little bit more skittish than I'd hoped. I was hoping I could dive bomb them from up there, but they had already kind of figured out that game and had moved out into the sand away from the wreck from the first divers that went down. It's a gorgeous day, though. I didn't even make it to the boulders on the wreck. But I did come back and swim up in the bow to see if I could find anything to shoot. Let's see what happens. So if you look closely here, you can see the mark where my shaft hit the fish, bounced to the left, and went off. That is just crazy, man. I cannot believe it didn't go through that fish. Here's a good view of the bow as I start to make my way up toward the boat. About halfway up the line is when the pompano finally showed up, but they were probably 60 feet below me and swimming away. So I didn't have the ability to go down and get them at that point. So as I said before, we'd already gotten our quota on the lobster. Unfortunately, on this 3rd dive of the day, we didn't see any fish that we could shoot, but the lobster were just everywhere. We just could not believe how many lobsters there were on this dive. You can see here, there's 2 fighting over territory right there below Combs. One of them gets his rear handed to him as he gets pushed out of the hole, and it was actually the bigger one that lost that battle. So there's some territorial battles going on. There's lobster all around. You know, every crack, every hole has lobster in it. And then we would come up into even some large, like sandy areas where there'd be groupings of lobsters just standing there. But it was crazy, man. It must be, breeding season or something that's going on right now, which means probably in a few weeks they'll all have eggs on them. There's definitely something going on that was outside the normal.
Oh, oh,